Good morning to all my beloved friend. Today I want to say something about lifespan, that is four stages of our life. In our Indian philosophy, the wise men, sages and rishis had divided our lifespan into four equal parts. These are termed as ashram. Initial stage is Brahmacharya, which we can say the present student life. Grahastha ashram, the married and family life. Banprastha, they say it is present retired life. And sannyas, super senior age, after completing all the duties and responsibility, one should take sannyas. Sannyas means no attachment to anything except God. Attached oneself to God only. The duty and responsibility were accordingly prescribed very perfectly. There is an ancient joke. The joke itself self explanatory. During initial creation of life, Brahmadev, who had created all and everything, had created four lives, and he had allotted lifetime equally 40 years to each and all four lives. These lives are human, donkey. Donkey means those who are carrying loads. गड्ढा हम लोग जो गड्ढा बोलता हो ये गड्ढा dog and vulture. Each and every one has 40 years. Finally, Brahmadev called them and asked, "Are you all happy?" He also told that the next day all shall be sent to Mitrulok. Mitrulok means our art, which is the other word is Mitralok. Because we are coming here to die. Mitru is dead. We are only coming to die. All lives coming here only to die. If there is anything else that must be solved right now, it is Brahmadev suggested. If somebody has any objection, please feel free to talk me and I will solve your problem. And do you need something more? Brahmadev asked. All are remaining silent, but human replied, Lord Brahmadev, the 40 years is too less. It is not sufficient for a lifespan. Brahmadev heard and smiled. Next chance is donkey. Donkey immediately refused to accept 40 years. And after earnest request of donkey, Brahmadev agreed to reduce his age to in 20 years instead of 40, subject to someone must take these 20 years of donkey since this has already sanctioned in his parliament. Once it is sanctioned in parliament, no minister or no authority can deny it, cannot refuse it. It is sanctioned, means it should be utilized. This surplus of 20 years surplus of donkeys, what will be used? How shall be spent by Brahmadev? So one must take. Human smilingly accepted this 20 years of, and human became 60 years. Earlier 40 plus this 20, 60 years. Next turn is dog. Dog is also started simply, and he and finally Brahmadev get Brahmadev sanction reduced his age to 20 years, and less 20 was allotted to human. What happened? Human is became 80 years. Next is vulture. Vulture is a special type of bird whose, whose body weight is much more than wing capacity. So, vulture normally took shelter on long tree, preferably at river bank, and eat meat of all dead animals. Whatever it may be floating in a river, man, animal, whatever it may be, vulture, eat it, finish it. So, vulture indirectly is, is sweeping all everything. So, vulture flying in nature is like our aircraft. Initially, vulture runs at the ground at very high speed, gradually increasing mood, then only fly high. The main problem of vulture, wings are small compared to body weight. After maturity, one vulture, when became mature, he became lazy. Even sometimes some are unable to walk fast and cannot fly high at all. So 40 years life of vulture is very serious, and vulture benignly prayed Brahmadev, and Brahmadev had reduced the lifetime of vulture and also gained 20 years by human. So human became 100 years. Earlier 80 distant. His own life was 40 years. He get 20 years from donkey, 20 years per dog, 20 years per vulture. He became 100 years. After rearranging the lifespan of all these four creatures, Brahmadev finally won. All should accept the lifestyle of that animal. That means when you completing the human life 40 years, then you have to carrying loads. That is, you are getting the load age of donkey. The basic purpose is donkey carrying a load. Maximum load can carry by donkey. And then after completing 60 years, he has to be working the duty of dog. So that 20 years is dog. And next 20 years of vulture. So everyone follow this lifestyle accordingly to age. Brahmadev was very angry to human on human behavior, especially for human greed. He was so angry. He angrily told human, I give you another 20 years of my own life. He he was angry. You imagine yourself, अपने ही जिंदगी का 20 years आदमी को दे दिया, इंसान को दे दिया. So angry. The man was quite happy, and next morning they reached our Mittuluk, and as such our life in this manner. Early 40 years it is man age. Enjoyment like man, eat, drinks and marry. Next 20 years donkey, only to carry overload like donkey. Next 20 years dog, eagerly waiting for some leftover. Because what happened in a family, dog is very lovely pet. But is anybody there who is first offered the food before taking by uh, other members of the family? No. After taking food by each and every member, the leftover, that is remaining food, shall be given to the dog. So eagerly, dogs are eagerly waiting for leftover food. Next 20 years is Bhalsa. Bhalsa life is when old. What Bhalsa cannot go for flying, so they cannot eat anything sufficiently. Bhalsa are basically fighting with death. So we human also at this age we are fighting with death. Next 20 years was given by Brahmadev himself. Head but lying at corner. Brahma is there are three Dev, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. But Brahmadev is creator, but he has nothing to do. Like uh, he is lying in a corner without any action, neither he has any rituals. Do you see any Brahmadev Mandir? No. In Hindu philosophy, there is no temple in the name of Brahmadev. All Vishnu Mandir is there, Shiv Mandir is there, Lakshmi Mandir is there, Kali Mandir is there, so many mandirs, so many goddess in Hindu philosophy, in our Indian Hindu culture, but there nowhere Brahmadev temple is there. Of course, it is merely a joke, neither any scientific base nor any philosophical thought. I tell this joke to give you some amount of experience of our lifestyle too. In our real life also, early life of everyone is good and enjoyable. All are passing days with smile after completion of education, all are started earnings, and a few years later, we all selecting our life partner. Initial journey of our married life very much pleasing and blissful. After growing up of children, just after crossing 40 years, more than 9 of 10 even forget to smile. A child up to age of 4 years can smile 400 times a day. And after 4 years, out of 10 only one can smile. Rest 9 of 10 forget to smile. Why? Because because of lot of burden like child education, admission into good institution, tuition expenses, etc. Many more. On the other hand, health problems of aged parents, lot of old age illness. How much a man can earn to meet up all this unwanted and unexpected expenses? And wife shall be pressing very hard. I want these things. Mrs. Mrs. Majumdar had bought this Banarasi sari, and I am not having any good clothes. So please arrange this type of. I need some ornaments, new design ornaments. I have to visit my own parental house to attend my own smallest sister marriage. So lot of problem. On the other hand, few years later, children marriage, etc. What not? All rubbish load. This is the life of donkey. 40 to 60 years, this life is. 20 years, we shall be suffering. At 60, one can merely get rid of all this problem. Since this, our children shall be started earning and say they will be having own family. So parent does not require pay more attention to their family except husband and wife. But yes, after 60, one can get rid of all these overburdens and problems. But health started to decay, loss of vigor, losing earnings, health complication, negative thoughts, depression, dependency, and many more. Because what happened after 60, we are unable to work hard. So we became dependent on our children or somebody else, whoever may be. Somebody may not, uh, children also, whoever may be, all shall be dependent on somebody. It is dog lives. As I told, dog is a lovely pet, but without any free mind. You see, if you uh, closed in a locked room, what do you feel? We all became dogs, 60 to 80 years. We are all blocked in a closed room where there is no light, no AC, no fan and anything. But we are spending our days. We are waiting for leftover food because, say, in some special occasion, some guests are coming. So, after going back by the guest, after taking their dinners, etc., then all leftovers shall be passed to the grandfather or old father to them. Before that, we have normally at after 60, no one is allowed to sit in a dining table with invited guest in dinner. No one is allowed because we we do not have the people at after 60 years do not have control over hand over mouth, because all organs are became very very weak. So during dining table, while we are taking food, some food may go out, some invited guest this, then it will be very unexpected situation. So we are not allowed, those who are aged person, they are not allowed to sit with the invited guest. So painful. So this is up to 80 years. This 20 years we are waiting for leftover food. After 80 years, we normally cannot do anything of our own choice. We are not allowed to eat anything, do not drink, we cannot drink, we are not allowed to talk to anyone, complete isolated at one corner. Is it life? It is life of vulture, because the all old vultures, those are mature vultures, they cannot uh, fly high, they cannot run fast in high speed, they cannot run it at a high speed. They are eagerly waiting for some food, so they cannot do anything. So it is the life of vulture, 80 to 100 years. It is exactly practical life. These are happening in our practical lives. Since one crossed the 100 years, he surely attained Brahmatta. That's all knowledge of Brahma. Brahmadev, the knowledge of whole universe, that state one can attain during 100 to 120 years. As since this age was allotted by Brahmadev himself, so he attained state of omniscient, the whole knowledge of the universe, omnipotent. He exists in himself, all powerful, all capable, and omnipresence. He can exist everywhere because he is lying in a corner. He is lying in a dark corner. What he need? He is simply taking the breathing, little amount of oxygen he is taking, so he do not require anything. Like Brahmadev, no one offers ritual to Brahmadev, no prayer offered by Brahmadev, no one worship Brahmadev, nothing. But just head of nothing. It is the life given by Brahmadev. You are head. At 100 to 120 years, you are head. But you do not have to do anything, no requirement at all. So this is the life of Brahmadev, and these are our lifestyle. If we compare, you see what our ancient philosophy was there. If we compare our life to our ancient four stages, four state, that is four ashram, almost similar with that. Brahmacharya hold the student life, no tension, no burden. Our parents arrange everything for our study and play. Even we, no one requires to do anything, since student is student only. If somebody did something, I do not know. during student life, I do not require do anything because I am uh, going 1 year annually during summer vacation, 1 month, for 1 month. That day I am most VIP. Although I am a small boy, but I am VIP because I am not readily available. This is Brahmacharya, Grahasthasam. After about 25, 30 years, in earlier days it is started from 25, early marriage is there, and up to 60 years, one should select own profession for livelihood and and marry a girl started to give birth of children. In those days, children were considered as asset since manpower was more necessary at that time. So, how many children? Is, how many children? If some says that my children is 12, oh, good. That means these children, they are becoming men and they will be uh, powerful men. They will be generating. They will be treated like a machine of money making machine. They will be working all manual workers there. During that time, it is manually work. No machinery system, no anything. Some may uh, ply, uh, cart, some may work in uh, cultivated land to agricultural land. Like we all are manual and physical labor. So, when a king also is coming out from his royal place to uh, kingdom on foot, his bodyguard nowadays, personal security. During that time, only ladies are performing the security. They are giving some cold air. They are protecting you from sunlight and giving some cool air. What we call in giving some hand fan. So they are the life. King also worked, and all men they are required to work. We know that Dhritarashtra had 100 son, 100 son and only one daughter. Of course, Dhritarashtra was blind. He cannot do anything. Just is dependent on somebody's uh, soldier. He is attending uh, parliament. Uh, his Bidur was his minister. He is taken by Dhritarashtra, was taken by court by Bidur. So he has nothing to do except giving birth of child. So he had 100 son. Nowadays, even nowadays, even one of my close friends, we were in fact a classmate. Mm, Both are professor of a engineering college. One retired as principal of that engineering college, and his wife retired as vice principal of the engineering that college. He has 10 children, while I was having one child, one boy, one son I have. I asked him, "Why you are having so much of children?" Uh, he smilingly and a little uh, uncomfortably he replied, "That was nothing to do. So what I shall do? Since I have nothing to do, so what I shall do?" I told him, very good. You give some children to the society. This is a good thing. This time, this ashram is 35 years. Next is Banprastha. In those days, our physical strength started decreasing after the age of 60. On the basis of that, perhaps British was fixed the retired age as 55 and later it became 58. Finally, it is 60 and some 62 and some 67. So each and every works are physical and manual. Living together with wife also not permitted. After this 60, living together is not permitted because children after 80 years may not be healthy. Question of healthy does not arise, we shall be surely poor health. Weak child may not able to be successful in life. In our society, it is during that time it was called Jugya Bhugya Vasundhara. Those who are capable, they can enjoy the beauty of this our world. After completing all this responsibility, like children education, marriage, children marriage, handing over all domestic and social charges to worthy son, a man generally became tired. He cannot do anything of his own choice. You see, for example, in my case, I am an old man of 80 plus age, having lot of health complications like blood glucose, that is diabetes, pressure, hypertension, heart blockade. I am bound to based on pacemaker, vision problem. I have to use two spect. One is for short distance, other is for long distance. Almost all the old age ailment, A to Z. I am physically weak and my family member never allow me to go out alone. I cannot eat of my own choice. I am incapable of earning for my livelihood. I am totally dependent on others. In ancient time, I have to take sannyas. But present days, what shall I do? I cannot go. There is no jungle, deep, dense forest is not available. In other country, other state may be available, but our northeastern region, especially in Assam, we do not have any dense forest. Even our rhinos and deers, they are suffering for food due to absence of sufficient forest. In a word, I am an overburden of the society. For my survival, few others requires to do more hard work. In my opinion, a total dependent man has no right to live to pollute the society. Our society is for Zigga Bhigga Vasundhara. Fittest can only survive. Those who are fittest, they can only survive. Mentally, I am dead. Physically, I am decaying day by day. My body of nobody's use. My body is useless. Is it life? No, never. It cannot be a life. In our country, 6.8% of total population belongs to my category, above 65 years old, and 16.4% belongs to 50 years old, considering 15 to 50 years in respect of energetic and capable, only 57.9%. 15 to 50 years, these people of these lands, they are capable of doing hard work. They are only 57%, 57.9 only. And they are pretest to survive. And the rest 42% of total population is solely dependent on others. Living, we are living for sake of living. What I can contribute to my country, to my nation, I do not have right to say I am Indian because not able to contribute a single teeny thing to my country, India. So why I should say India? How in this situation when 42% is dependent on this 57.9%, then what will be the future of our country? How our nation can develop? No, not at all possible. In case of any world war, more than 50% of defense force shall be necessary to evacuate these 57, 42% people to safe place because I cannot go with a automatic rifle to fight in borders. I have to evacuate from that place to some safe place. This shall be a serious problem to our country. There will be other expenses, more than 50% defense force required to be employed for rescue these 42% people. Nowadays, you see, other problem is you see, nowadays organ transplantation is not common practice. In ancient time in India, this was common. Sheikh Dadisi had donated his bones to Devendra. Devendra means Lord Indra. He is the king of heaven. Indra Dev. It is Devendra. For making weapon, Bajja, Bajjastra, to fight against Viratashur. Viratashur. That is, he was fighting against Viratashur, making Bajja from the bones of Dadhishti, Sheikh Dadhishti. And when Devendra approached him, immediately Dadhishti, yes, what is the problem? You take my bone. Yes, you take my bone. Without any hesitation, he donated his all bones to prepare Brajasta, Braja. This is a thunder weapon, thunder. So, and that fight was, he defeated the Virateshur. Nowadays it is banned. Even the process of organ donation is not simple, and some NGOs charges processing fee. They are charges processing fee. I told one office bearer of an NGO, while I have been, would I have been capable of giving 3,000 rupee as a processing fees? Surely I shall be live for a few years more because I love this world very much. I am not able to uh, give 3,000 rupees for processing fees of my organ donation. Some say, lot of my friends, they say old is gold. What is the opinion? I do not know. Old cannot mean my opinion, or old cannot be a gold. But if it is old is gold, but it is pyrite. It is cannot be a 24 carat gold. It looks like gold, shining like gold. But in my opinion, it is not gold, it is surely pyrite. Pyrite is a hard metal, looks like gold and shining and lightning nature. And until this human overburden decrease to zero, no nation can develop in any extent. I hope you find necessary justification on my remarks on this issue. सर्वे सुखिन भवन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा दुःख भाग भवेत्. Please be very healthy, please be happy, please be blissful and long contented life. My dear friends, I am always available at jcgogo@gmail.com. So, if you want to talk to me, you can surely talk with me on this idea. Om Sat Chit Anand.